Everybody is having a blessed day. I hope everybody is doing well and that everybody's having good weather. Good morning, Lisa Lee. How are you this morning? I hope that that everyone is enjoying the good weather that we're having lately, at least here. So I hope everybody's not getting rained on or snowed on or anything like that, and that y'all are able to get your gardens going and everything's looking good. But I know here my garden is starting to look pretty good. I'm actually starting to get a few little zucchini and yellow squash. So we're watering like crazy right now, trying to get the beans and peas to continue to climb. Off Kilter Homestead, good morning. And get them to climb up and start producing for us. I don't know how well the peas will do. It's been starting to get warm. We've had 100-degree day already, and a few that were in the upper 90s. But hopefully it'll stay pretty decent, and we can get them peas and everything to climb up. Got some more peppers in the ground. The tomatoes are in the ground. Got what else did we get in the ground the other day? Yeah, I forgot. That's why I video it, right? So I can remember it. So I hope everybody's doing good this morning. Autism Garden, good morning. How are you this morning? And everybody's got their coffee and waking up good. But, today is just going to be one of those days. It's supposed to be fairly warm today. Let's see. According to my tattletale, it's already 65 degrees today. So that's pretty good, you know. And according to NOAA, and for those of you that don't know what NOAA is, it's a National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. It's where the National Weather Service gets all their information. So, and they have an app that I like to use. So, and oops, I hit the hourly forecast. Yeah, today's supposed to be 92 and windy. Imagine that, windy. So 15 to 20 this afternoon, 10 to 15 this morning. So, yeah. 90 tomorrow, 90 Monday, 92, 91 Tuesday, 95 Wednesday. So, yeah, 90s. So, yeah, they are beautiful plants until they fry, Lisa. I have some out front that aren't doing real great, and then I have some out back that are... I got some that are a couple feet tall, but there's some that are kind of stunted, and I'm not sure why. But might be because there's a lot. I've got a lot of ants in the garden. You know, you just can't get rid of the daggum ants. But so I've got ants, and I've got a bunch of. The wind has just been. I mean, the wind has been murder on my plants this year. I've already had to replant 2 squash plants because the wind ripped them up, you know, just broke them off to pretty much nothing. I was hoping I could salvage them, but the next day was just as windy. So it just went ahead and pushed it, all the work I'd done to save them, pushed it on over. So, but I've lost a few pepper plants from the wind. So I do believe I may have to reinforce my fence a little bit and maybe put up a little bit of wind barrier, maybe put some of those slats in my fence to use as a wind barrier. But we'll have to see what's going on. Hey Howie, how are you this morning? But hopefully we can save this thing from the wind. So far everything seems to be doing pretty good. Knock on wood, my Cherokee tan pumpkins are doing outstanding. So those are out of all the things that I absolutely wanted to make it and do well, it's those. The rest of the stuff I'm happy with no matter how it does. But my Cherokee tan pumpkins I really want to do well because I want to share the love and spread the seeds. So, earwigs, huh? Ugh, I hate earwigs. So, last year I took to controlling a lot of insects last year with DE, diatomaceous earth. Pretty much anything that is jointed or has an exoskeleton, it'll kill them. So you might try some of that, Lisa. I mean, I don't know how bad of a problem you have, but earwigs are a jointed insect, and earwigs and millipedes and centipedes and ants and roaches and fleas and ticks and stuff like that, it'll kill all of them. So I actually use diatomaceous earth in my on my lawns occasionally to help kill fleas. I use diatomaceous earth to rub down my dog and my cat. So, the DE is not even slowing them down, huh? Oh my goodness. Well, that sounds like you have an infestation, not a problem. So, yeah, them little buggers, I tell you, sometimes. I had that problem, not last year, but year before with vine borers. So I did everything I could and just could not seem to get rid of them. Good morning, Amy Lynn. How are you this morning? Vine borers. I was even injecting the stuff into the bottom of the vines. I was using DE. I was using neem. I mean, just everything I could think of. I try and go as organic as possible. I try not to use any of the chemicals. I mean, that's what most of us are trying to get away from is chemicals. So, yeah, wood ash and biochar is another one. I forgot all about that, Howie. Thank you. Yeah, those are also good ones. I don't have a lot of wood ash, but I do use the ash from my charcoal grill, from my barbecue grill, because all I use in that is wood. So I do use that, and that helps sometimes too. So. An entire army, huh? Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, it's like a free buffet. Yep. Yeah, the biochar is most definitely a process. Ivy's Forge, good morning. And I love my biochar, but it is most definitely a process. I have made my own charcoal many times. Just in a 55-gallon drum. But whatever, yeah, see? Yeah, got to get your top up. But yeah, we used to use wood ash from our wood stove on our garden when I was growing up too, so it does work real well. So But other than that, how's the weather where everybody's at? I mean, I know y'all were saying that, yeah, teeny tiny ants. I got ants everywhere. They're just nasty little buggers. They I can't wait until, it's funny. Parts of the year I'm dreading summer, and other parts of the year I'm looking forward to it. I have the weed barrier fabric down, and with my weed barrier fabric, it gets very hot on the top of it. So the ants tend to stay off of it when it starts getting hot. So, on that way, I'm looking forward to summer, because then the daggum little ants won't be all over it, and maybe I can bake some of them into the ground. And as much as I'm watering lately, I might be drowning a few of them, but hopefully, the latest spread of the DE will help get rid of some of them. But oh man, yeah, all that water at once is kind of rough. I know my mom and pops are in northern Georgia, and they said they'd just been getting just rain. Then it dries up, and then they get rain. Then it dries up, and then they get rain. And there's a lot of folks in the northern Georgia area that are just getting absolutely hammered. Big Bear Homestead, and I know Sydney and Tori were in the northern Georgia area, and they were getting hammered by the rain for a while. And I mean, it's just it's crazy. I mean, the weather this year is just absolutely crazy. We had a very mild winter, which is making me worry about this summer. I have a feeling it's going to be a very, very hot one this year. So, and I'm not looking forward to that. There you go. Got your laptop all moved. Get yourself comfortable. Lisa says, "What's rain?" Yeah, I know, Lisa. I know. We never got hammered a lot out there by rain, but except in '86 and '93, and when the Feather River Canyon washed out. But snow, yeah. Snow, and more snow. But I do miss the mountains. I miss home. So I do miss the mountains. We got the elevation here, just no mountains, no trees. It's like a huge plateau out here, Oh, hell, Lisa. California's always a giant bonfire. Ecocentric, good morning. How are you guys up there? So, yeah, California every year has horrible wildfires. And, as a child growing up there, and knowing what I know today, and my dad working for them, for the forestry in California for 20 plus years, I can honestly say it's mismanagement. If they would take care of their water resources and manage the forests better, and there wasn't 60 million people in California, then they'd probably be okay. Yeah, Lisa, the thunderstorms, when I was over in East Texas, it was fantastic to just sit out and watch. But yeah, the humidity all day long, I agree with you. You can keep it. I don't mind a little humidity, but that much is just too much. So exactly. It's just it's poorly managed, especially their water resources. California, especially Northern California, has always pretty much bowed down to Southern California when it comes to their water. I mean, our lakes up there would be, 50% capacity because Southern California was taking all of our water to water their lawns. I mean, but oh yes, love the black flies. Yeah, I spent time up in Alaska, so yeah, black flies and mosquitoes are horrible this time of year. So I know what you're going through. So, but yeah, thank goodness here we don't get those. Don't even hardly get mosquitoes. We get a few, but there you go. Ivy's Forge said they lived next to the ocean for the last 20 plus years. I've lived next to the ocean. I've lived in the mountains. I've lived in the desert. I have lived pretty much everywhere, and I'll take the mountains. Any day of the week. Aphids are going crazy. Can't keep them away. Ladybugs. Get you some ladybugs, some aphids, or some lacewing flies. I'm in the process of ordering mine now for the ladybugs. The lacewing flies, it's a little late for me. I may even get some praying mantises, so to help with the moths this year. Right. So when I lived in East Texas, it was some days it was like that. You get out of the shower in the morning, you go outside to get ready for work, and you walk out the door and you just get hit with a wave of water, and it feels like you need another shower. So yeah, that's one thing we don't get here in the high desert. That I don't miss. Excuse me. But it's it is what it is, right? I mean, everywhere you go, you're going to have to battle something. So whether it's bugs or weather or whatever it happens to be, you're going to have to battle something. I think that's what makes all of us unique and special in our ways. We all have different life experiences, and we all know how to deal with the different things that come up. So that's what makes us such a fantastic community. I mean, we're from everywhere, and we are everywhere. So we are able to help people out, with the stuff that they need. And if somebody's having a problem with one thing, well, you may not have that problem, but somebody else does. So but aphids went nuts with the cold spring. They're finally frying their little selves in the heat. Yeah. Last year I had a good bit of aphids, and this year I decided that right as the heat started coming, I'd get a whole bunch of ladybugs, and so that's what we're doing. Yeah, exactly right, Howie. Exactly right. It's like living in a sauna. Oh, sorry, that's ecocentric. Yeah, exactly. It is. It's like it is like living in a sauna. I mean, we'd in East Texas, it was the same way. I mean, it'd be only it would be more like 40 Celsius and 90% humidity. So it was just miserable. It's like it's not even out of the frying pan and into the fire. It's it's worse. Hey Todd, good morning. How are you this morning? It gets crazy. I know Todd and Dry have that problem over there in Louisiana. Um, you walk outside and you feel like you need another shower. Um, the humidity can be a battle. I think the worst part about it is for especially for people with breathing problems. Breathing in all that humid air is very difficult. Excuse me. So yeah, breathing in all that humid air for some people is very difficult. Some people not so bad, but I mean, I never really had a problem with it until it hit, in the hundreds at 90% humidity, and then it gets a little more difficult. Hey, White North Forge, good morning. How are you guys this morning? But other than that, I mean, let's face it, we all learn to live with whatever weather we're given. So we may not like it, we may complain about it, but we definitely learn to live with it. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, see, terrible in Louisiana. Louisiana, East Texas, the humidity was sometimes it's just mind-boggling. Now, I mean, I've been overseas, so I mean, to go to some place like Guam or Okinawa, where you're pretty much getting 100% humidity and 90, 100-degree days every day. I mean, it gets kind of crazy, but island life, right? The wife and I have often talked about going that direction, and then talked ourselves right out of it. I don't mind sweating at all. I don't mind the hard work, and I don't mind sweating. It's sweating for absolutely no reason whatsoever, other than that it's so humid outside. So, but I mean, you can only do so much with that. But like I said, it is what it is. We all kind of learn to live with and deal with the weather that the good Lord gives us, and we make do, and that's all right. I mean, that's what we do as homesteaders. We take in the seasons. We make do with the things we have, and we make our gardens work, and our animals do what they're supposed to do, and sometimes we do outstanding. Sometimes we don't. It just is what it is. I know that a lot of us love the hot weather or love the humid weather. Some of us like the cold. I mean, personally, I'm a firm believer in the cold. I tend to like cold areas. I know some people think I'm crazy, but I'm a big man, and I am a firm believer that you can always put more clothes on, but you can only take so much off before somebody gets offended or you get arrested. So, there's that little tidbit, right? So, but it is what it is, and we live with, and we enjoy what we have. So, man, that's it. Just keep on rolling, right? Let's see here. How you have a great day. Enjoy your day. I hope everything goes well. And it's Saturday, silly. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't rush it. Oh yeah, exactly. I got to get my coffee in before I even start. That's the first thing I do every morning, is make the coffee and get that going first, because otherwise I'm not functioning. And I'm definitely, I may function, but I don't function well. Lisa, yes, I do grow cantaloupes in containers. Last year, I just started my cantaloupes this year because I'm trying something a little different. They came on really early last year because I think I planted them too soon. But hey, good morning, Simple Life. But I started them a little later this year. But yes, I have a center section out of a plastic 55-gallon drum from a couple of my my other planters, and I put it out in my front lawn just as a lark. And Todd, have a great day at work, and be safe out there, huh? And so I put this thing in my front lawn. I set it down on some weed barrier and filled it up with dirt. And just on a lark, I put some sugar baby watermelons and some cantaloupe in it, just for fun. And they did fantastic. So I had vines all across my front lawn. We were literally picking up the vines with the cantaloupe on them and moving them so I could mow the lawn. Not that it's much of a lawn anyway. It's more like a weed patch, you know, because we don't get a lot of grass out here, and I'm not big on watering it. So, I mean, the only reason it was green is because I was watering the cantaloupe and the watermelons. So, but yes, yes, too wet or too dry will definitely hurt them. I would water mine about once every other day for only a few minutes. I mean, just long enough to dampen the soil. But also, because of the type fruit that they are, they take a lot more phosphorus and potash than they do nitrogen. So you may check on your fertilizer if you use. I mean, I use all natural fertilizer, but like bone meal and stuff like that. So, but yeah, if your potash and phosphorus are low, they won't do super great either. So, because they need that to make the fruits. So, but. Well, I appreciate that, Simple Life. I appreciate that you dropped in for the first time. So, outstanding. And I appreciate that too, Ivy's Forge. But yeah, it's growing in containers is always a battle with too dry, too wet. But when they're first starting out, and the leaves are really coming on and they're starting to bush out, well, the extra water doesn't really hurt them because the leaves store it. But once they start to fruit, if you water them too much, you'll split the fruits and stuff like that. So you have to be careful that way. But Simple Life, we're in eastern New Mexico, right close to the Texas state line. So it's high desert here, little over 4,300 feet. So it's like we're living on a big plateau, lots of wind, which is what we were talking about earlier. has been tearing up my garden, blown over several of my pepper plants and broken off a couple of my squash. But right now, everything seems to be doing okay. I think maybe it was just because they were smaller and they just didn't have the strength to stand up to it. But you know how squash plants are. I mean, they get them huge leaves on them. They're just like great big sails. So I kind of expected some of them to get damaged. I just was hoping they wouldn't get torn up, you know. But yeah, anyway. So today is another day of starting some more seeds, and some of my fall squash I'll start, so that by the time fall comes, they will be going. So okay, y'all are in northwestern Arizona. Okay, so I know that area. So I went through that way several years back now. It's been a while since I've been out that way, but let's see. I'm trying to remember the last time I went through there. '09 probably. So yeah, it's been a little while. But yeah, I drove back to California from East Texas. So. But hey, good morning, Shayla. How are you this morning? But yeah, it's been a while since I think actually '09 was the last time I've been on the West Coast. So let's see. I flew out to Oregon, going to Washington. No, I flew out to Oregon on my way to Alaska. And that was 20, might have been 2010, 2011. Yeah, I don't remember. It was a while back. So, yeah, I try to avoid that area now. So we're okay where we're at for now, but eventually we'll make it back to some mountains somewhere. Until then, we'll just keep on growing, you know. Make do with what we've got and keep on rolling. So, yeah, exactly. Need more coffee before I can think about something that far back. The chickens are doing well. The wife and I were, it's funny you mentioned that. The wife and I were just talking yesterday. I have grand design plans for my chicken tractor. I want to put wheels on the back, but I want to put wheels on the back that I can lift up and down. So similar to lawnmower wheels, but with a larger style handle that gives me a little more leverage. And so my plan is to build a section above it. I'm going to tear off part of the roof, and I'm going to build another section above it so that they actually have a place to go up into to roost, and then they can use the whole bottom section as a run. So it won't be super large, maybe 2 feet-ish tall, but still 4 foot by 4 foot. So, but yes, instead of a chicken tractor, it'll be a chicken Taj Mahal, or a chicken split level, you know, but with wheels so we can move it. But it's fun anyway. You know, the grand design, the big grand scheme of things. But right now I'm working on a sprinkler system for the garden. So yesterday's option was kind of a failure. Apparently I don't have enough water pressure to run 5 good pop-ups. So back to the drawing board on that one. So, but the chickens are doing well. They're 2-ish months old now. So I still got a little while before they start thinking about laying. So, and before the cold weather comes. But that was another reason for the possible expansion. So, let's see. You're ready to head west, huh? No. Simple Life says they were in New Mexico, shocked at how the state is doing with the mandatory face masks. You mean how they're not doing? So, I mean, it's just pretty much ridiculous. So many people out and about just not even bothering, you know. So I don't know why more stores aren't enforcing it or businesses aren't enforcing it, but I guess it is what it is. I wear mine, so. But I will say that according to the last time I looked, I'll tell you what, we can look now, you know, at the thing. I don't like the thing, so I try not to think about the thing. But according to their web health page, we are still only at 9,500 total cases and 426 unfortunate deaths. So, yeah, state-wise, as states go, we're doing outstanding. Granted, we only have about 1.5 million people, but comparatively to some of the other states that have similar numbers, we're doing awesome. So, but you know, it is what it is. We can only do so much, and we can only protect ourselves. We can't protect the idiots out there. We can protect ourselves. We can, and that's about it. You guys couldn't even pump gas without having one on. Yeah, you know, these people, it's like nobody understands directions anymore either. I mean, Walmart was nice enough to put down markers on the floor and arrows on the aisles to keep everybody traveling in the same direction, to try and help with the social distancing and that sort of stuff. And people just do whatever they want to do. So, you know, I don't know if that's just ignorance or pure lack of knowledge or just plain stupidity. You know, but there's two different thought processes on that. And, you know, stupidity is, hey, stupidity is those that don't know, you know, and ignorance is those that choose not to know, you know, and but you're going to do what you're going to do, right? So, yeah, I have to wear one at work as well. No, and you're absolutely right. My goatee and the mask are not friends, which is why I tend to just wear a bandana across my face. Yeah, I look like a freaking bandit from the Old West, but but it's a whole lot more comfortable, and for me anyway, and it doesn't fog up my glasses so much as some of the other masks do. So, but yeah, I mean, I work on a military installation, so I mean, we have to follow the rules that the base provides for us. So, and they say that you have to wear one. So, yeah, see, in a lot of places are just like that, Shayla. It's not necessarily mandatory, just recommended. But in places where it's mandatory and people still aren't wearing them, there's got to be some kind of accountability, and that's just it. No one wants to, one, nobody wants to hold these people accountable, and two, I mean, it's like people don't want to take care of themselves. I mean, I'm seeing people out there, and I don't like the word elderly, probably because I'm in my 50s, and elderly to me seems like 100. But I see people that are my parents' age, in their 80s, 70s, and 80s, that are out shopping with no masks on or anything like that. And as we know by the numbers, statistically, they're at a higher risk. So why wouldn't you take care of yourself? But again, stupidity and ignorance, to each their own. So if the big guy upstairs chooses to weed out some of the ignorant people, well, I guess I'm not against that. I mean, it sucks for those people that those are their family members, but I guess I'm not against it if that's what needs to happen, But I try not to go out. So I try and go out as little as possible. And when I do, I wear my mask because I don't need that crap. I don't need it. My family don't need it. So, like I said, to each their own. But y'all keep yourselves safe, plain and simple. So, anyway, enough of that crap. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, the bandana works so well. So, exactly. Let the Tide Pod eaters feast. So, the rest of us taking care of ourselves, we'll still be around. But I'm telling you, your beard starts getting. Mine was, getting quite long there for a little while, and I just trimmed it all back because I knew the heat was coming. Even trimmed all this back so that it would be cooler. But yeah, you gotta look out for number one, right? If you're not, what's the, as we always used to say, and I mean, a good supervisor is one who leads by example, right? Well, as far as I'm concerned, that's just a good human being. So lead by example. So I agree. I do agree that I think it has a lot to do with the CDC and the WHO taking back some of their previous on how severe it was, and so yeah, and so some people are just going, oh well, the hell with it then. They can't make up their mind what's going on. So, well, right. It's the mask is not to protect the person wearing it; it's to protect the people around them. So, I think overall, yes, the standard flu probably is worse historically, but you got to remember there are the flu's been here for 100 plus years, and so people have built up some immunity to it, and this is all kind of brand new, and no one really has a built up immunity to it. So I mean, other than a few rare cases. But so that's why it's hitting so hard, I mean, and I don't know, I want people to be safe. I like people to be around. I hate seeing unnecessary deaths, and unnecessary problems. But again, it is what it is. And if the Tide Pod eating, paint sniffing generation that's out there wants to run around without masks, then as far as I'm concerned, let the big guy upstairs weed them out, you know. Leave all of us that are smart enough to protect ourselves here. So, like I said, I don't go out much, but when I do, I wear my mask. So, anyway, enough of that horrible subject. I hate that subject. Shayla, have you talked to your husband into getting you some chickens yet? Because I think that's a necessity. You know it and I know it. I'm telling you, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. So, yeah, exactly, Lisa. Right. It's not, and you wouldn't want to wish it on anybody. But yes, chickenbockers. Oh, come on, Shayla. You got to get that man to get you some peepers. Or you just need to go out and get you some. I may just order some and send them to you. Then what are you going to do? You're going to have to figure something out quick, huh? That's what we need to do, Shayla. You just you just send me your address, and I will send you some peepers, and then that coop will get built real fast. I guarantee it. You know, I know. Yeah. Oh, look, chickens. I'm not supposed to have them here either. In town, they said that they don't necessarily come around checking, but if you've got roosters, then yeah, I can do rabbits here too. But my youngest one decided she wanted chickens. And see, I told you, Shayla. and so we went and got some right before Easter. Kind of forced me to get off my butt and build the chicken tractor real quick too. So, but we have talked to some people, and we may be getting some rabbits as well. We'll just waiting to see right now how things play out. We've been looking at a couple of houses in the area that are inexpensive, something that I can pay off in 5 or 6 years. And if I can pay off a house in 5 or 6 years, then to me it's worth getting, because even if we move, I don't care if it takes 2 or 3 years to sell it, because it's really not costing me anything but taxes, and taxes are fairly inexpensive here. So, but hey, Lisa, just go over there with the knife and a road cone and send it to freezer camp for them. Geez, I don't know what happened to it. Yeah, there's a lot of towns around us too that are kind of the same way, that, oh yeah, you can have 6 or 7 or whatever, no roosters, which is kind of what I did. I bought all pullets for a reason. Of course, you know how well that goes. You always end up with 1 or 2 roosters. I think I might have 2, but that's okay. That still leaves me with 5 hens. So we ended up getting 7 because I was only going to get 6, but there was only 7 of them there, and I wasn't going to leave one all by itself. So, so I brought it home. So, chickens aren't expensive to feed. I mean, I'm 2 months in, okay, and I just bought my second bag of food last week. I bought a 50-pound bag, and I just bought my second bag last week. Now, granted, when they get a little bit older, they're going to eat a little bit more. But I bought a regular bag of feed, and I bought a 30-pound bag of scratch, and without a doubt, those are going to last me at least a month, month and a half. And so I'm not really that worried about it. I mean, it's not that expensive. I mean, those 2 bags of feed, and I bought expensive feed too. I mean, I bought 30% chick starter. So, you know, I mean, and that stuff's 20 something bucks a bag. But hell, if it's going to last you a month, what's 20 bucks? You know, compared to the egg production or the meat production, or, you know, I mean, so I think it's just a good investment. I mean, that's the way you got to look at it. You can't look at the expense. You have to look at what you're going to get out of it. Ooh, excuse me. And that's eggs, meat, fertilizer. If you got them in a tractor like I do, I move mine about every 3 days, and so everywhere where I've had them, you can see the little spot because the lawn is mowed, but you can also see the green coming back up through it because the chickens fertilized it, you know. So my yeah, show them the numbers. I mean, you know, you get a dozen hens, you know, or whatever. I mean, I don't know how many you're thinking about getting, Shayla, but I mean, eventually I'd like to have about 25 or 30 laying hens. I mean, I'd like to get a couple dozen eggs a day. And if you think about that based on what you guys eat versus what you can also sell them for, you know, I mean, yeah, break it down for them. Show them the numbers. Let them see that. And you know as well as I do, my whole chicken tractor was about 60 bucks. So, and I used hardware cloth. So, if you use the 1-inch chicken wire, you know, it's definitely going to save you some money. So, I did the hardware cloth more than anything because of the neighborhood cats. I was going to do chicken wire, but I didn't want the cats to be able to reach in and grab one while it was sleeping or something, you know. So that's why I did the hardware cloth on the bottom. So, and that was, honestly, that was my biggest expense. That was 50 bucks. And that was a 25-foot roll of hardware cloth. And I used 24 and a half feet of it. So, I mean, I measured it out perfectly and knew what I needed. So, but yeah, eventually we want about 30. So, well, I've been meandering on here for close to an hour here, and Mama Z's fixing to start cooking here pretty quick. So I think we'll start wrapping it up. But yeah, eventually when you get land and stuff like that, yeah, it's the same thing we want to do. We want chickens, goats, rabbits, eventually maybe a mini Jersey or something like that. But we'll just have to wait and see right now. But definitely the first thing we'll get is chickens and rabbits. So, and my wife and I have talked about it, and I don't care if I have to put them in their own truck and move them across the country. You know, it is what it is, right? So, anyway, y'all be safe out there. Y'all take care of one another. Keep an eye on everybody. Avoid the stupidity. Stay home. Only go out if you have to. But you know, take care of yourselves. And no dough, no problem. Just grow. And for Terry over at Poor Boy Homestead, goodbye.